With a kiss of the future, maybe Keystone needs a masters, just waiting for the middle process. Oh yeah.
What's going on, everybody? It's Refle here, and I am back with more Refle's anime reviews and discussions. But last time I don't know what we did because I'm gonna upload these randomly, so we'll see. It'll be something, whatever. But this time I'm talking about a anime that I watched it all last night, and it was an interesting ride for sure. But it is FLCL, or Fooly Cooly. Now, I've heard this anime being mentioned a handful of times. Just the last few years, I've been kind of getting more into anime. And it's been on my kind of list of stuff to watch. But for some reason last night, I was just really bored. And I was thinking of starting up a new show. And I just decided to pick FLCL. And immediately I was surprised because it's only 6 episodes long, which you really don't ever see. And yeah, so it's pretty easy to kind of go through it in a few hours and just watch it all. But it's something else. It's something else. But yeah, it FLCL, or Fooly Cooly. I'm gonna say Fooly Cooly because it's fun to say. Came out in 2003, so it's early 2000s anime. But I don't even know how to describe the show because I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not 100% sure what happened in this show. So I'll try my best, but if I just screw something up entirely, I'm sorry, but it's kind of hard to follow at times. I watched the English dub version, I should point out, since I rarely ever do watch English dub stuff nowadays. And it was pretty good overall. I thought the English dub was pretty good. Yeah, so Fooly Cooly follows Naoto Nandaba, who's a 12-year-old kid who lives in like a suburb town where they have this giant factory shaped like an iron, like a clothes iron, that just puffs out smoke and is part of a certain company which I can't remember the name of. And it's just this giant towering thing in the distance that goes around the town. And the town's just kind of your average suburb. But yeah, so Naoto is just a kid who doesn't think anything goes on really in his town. And he has a brother who lives in America. And there's like some stuff that mentions him, and I really didn't follow it much. But his brother plays baseball in America or something. But he usually hangs around with Mamimi Samjina, who is a high school student. I believe she's 17. And she has a thing for Naoto's brother. Or Nayata. Not Naoto. There's a big difference. Nayata. I should point out that basically Mamimi and another character just call Nayata Takun I don't know why, for some reason. But she's like she skips school a lot. She's kind of like a rebel, a delinquent. She smokes all the time, and she's just a weird character. Every character in this show is really weird. Like, I'll just say it right now, every single one of them. It's not maybe like one character that's not weird in this show, and then something weird happens to her. Like, it's a weird show. but yeah, one day Nayata gets ran over by a moped that is driven by Haruko Haruhara.
Alright, lunchtime! Already? Taco, stop! Huh? Native girl must stop. Taro-kun just hit his head, so you can't move him yet, understand? But he isn't Taro-kun. He's dead! This young boy is completely dead, just as Taro would be! But he's not Taro, like I said.
Who is a person, because I can't really say who she is because it'd spoil it. A person who's very eccentric, very all over the place, and she carries around a guitar, and she smacks people in the head with her guitar. And she does that with Nayata, and he gets a huge bump in his head, and eventually, like, something happens where this bump, which looks really weird, I should point out, it's like a horn, basically. This bump turns into a robot or something, like a robot comes out of it.
It's getting bigger!
And stuff goes crazy, and there's a robot fighting another robot, and then Haruko just hits the robot, and that's the first episode. But Haruko is at Nayata's town for a certain reason that she doesn't really say, and a lot of just hijinks and weird stuff happens, and she is a very weird character, and she does a whole bunch of weird stuff. Yeah. I really can't, like, I don't want to spoil anything, because it's really interesting to see how this plot goes about. But it is extremely, extremely weird. Every episode is just, like, what is going on, basically. Like, you kind of know what's going on, but it's just, like, how ridiculous it is. But yeah, now the show has a lot of things going for it, for sure. It has a fantastic soundtrack. Like, there's just rock music that plays all the time, and I knew it was going in that the music was supposed to be really good for this series, and it turned out to be very good too. This is like contemporary Japanese rock, if that makes any sense. Like, it is really, really good. And it fits the show really perfectly because of guitars and music play a good part in the show, and it kind of makes sense. And then the animation. Now, this is a show from like 2003, so compare it to some more recent shows that are kind of HD and everything. I mean, there's a difference, but the animation is really, really well done, and it looks great. I mean, we do this always like kind of like stylized like animation within it. Like, we basically like do manga animation inside the show. I think it was like the second episode, and it's just kind of funny how it goes about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Now's just like me.
so he must be doing it. I know he's doing it. Doing it, Fooly Cooly.
I see. Pretty impressive, little bro.
So what do you think, Haruko-san?
What are ya?
Oh, Cooly Cooly, like that?
Kool-Aid?
Not like curry powder aphrodisiac leaked off my desk. It's this kind of Cooly Cooly new modality.
Noodle?
I mean like MTV!
Empty?
Oh, former assistant editor-in-chief. I didn't know you had such a lovely young wife. Ooh, Cooly Cooly! Yeah, it's kind of a Cooly Cooly dream thing!
Yeah, Fooly Cooly is you do it like this with your hands, see?
All right.
And then they reference it later on, and they talk about how they referenced it early in the show. Like, it's kind of a bit meta, but it's funny. But the animation is really well done. It looks really, really good. There's some great just moments and scenes that look good. Like, the animation is top notch. Now this is only 6 episodes, like I said, but they really cram in a lot in each episode, and each episode doesn't feel like the first episode felt like it was like an hour long, but it was only like 25 minutes long, and it was, I mean, like, they jam everything in, and there's a lot to take in from these episodes. And I guess since I only watched last night, not everything's kind of like set in for me, but I feel like they did a pretty good job overall for just 6 episodes, and they could possibly have turned it into 12, but I feel like I guess it would have been possible, but I feel like they would have kind of gone on too long, and you would have lost some of the wackiness and just insanity that happens, because you would probably have to turn it down a bit for a few episodes. But doing 6 episodes, I feel like we did a pretty solid job to kind of like get their story told and move on. So it's only 6 episodes. It only take you like 2-3 hours, because I think the final episode's an hour long. I think. Is it? I'm gonna double check, but yeah, it shouldn't take you too long to watch. Like I said, I watched it last night. But it's just I can't emphasize enough. Like, it's just a really wacky show. It's not an hour long. What am I talking about? 31 minutes long. It's longer than every other episode, but it's only like 7 minutes longer. But yeah, it's just really weird, and I might throw in some some scenes from the show, but for this episode, I'm not going to do that because of reasons. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching it. I wasn't a big fan of the ending, but that's just because I like happy endings. And it's not like the ending's like depressing, but I don't know. Like, the ending isn't like bad by any means, but there's something that I wanted to happen just because I'm that kind of person. That didn't happen, but it's still an okay ending. I would say it's okay because that's just me. But the trip watching through this whole anime was really, really good. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I really don't know. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. And now this could definitely change. And I eventually am gonna do like an episode where I kind of look back on my reviews and see how things change. Because there's some anime that once I think about, like, now that I think about it more, they have, either gone up or down as far as I go. And this is really, really fresh in my mind as a show, but I give it an 8.5. It's a extremely unique anime that I really can't compare to anything as far as how bizarre it is. I mean, it's on that the same way that Shimonetta is bizarre is how this show is bizarre, even though they're not really the same type of show. But it's ridiculous. It's fun to watch. There's some interesting stuff going around, some great music, some great animation for the time, and it still looks really good today. But yeah, I'd recommend watching it. It's short, like I said, and it's a fun ride. But I want to thank you all for watching, and like always, feel free to suggest anime to watch in the comments below, and I will try to get to it. And if there's anything else you want me to kind of change, or suggestions to change stuff with these videos, let me know. I've been trying to change it up lately, but there's only so much you can do that YouTube doesn't get mad about. So yeah. So thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you later.